What exactly is going on when we're talking about food poisoning?
Okay, so when we are talking about food poisoning, we are looking at food being contaminated. The very food we eat daily, I mean, in and out, being contaminated. The food is supposed to be wholesome so that it doesn't affect us. But then once it's contaminated, I mean, the food is poisoned. So the poisoning of the food will come about by the way we handle the food, right from the raw materials used to prepare the food, even up to where the food is stored, and then maybe reheated or cooled down to eating. Yeah, so all these processes lead to the food poisoning.
Okay.
Yes.
You talked about raw materials in the
Yes.
preparation.
Yes.
Give me an example.
So, for example, when we use meats, raw meats, vegetables, okay, I mean the ingredients that we use in preparing the food. So, if you are preparing, for example, salad, the how you cut the salad, I mean how you prepare the salad, these processes all can lead to food poisoning.
Okay.
I mean the equipment which are being used to prepare the foods.
Or like a dirty knife or something?
A dirty knife, a chopping board which is dirty. Maybe use a chopping board for cutting meat, and that same chopping board is for cutting vegetables. I mean, that can lead to what we call cross-contamination. Because there are certain bacteria, certain pathogens in the meat, or maybe that particular raw food you are using, that can be transferred from an animal product to a plant-based product.
What's the solution? You need 2 chopping boards?
Yeah, so ideally it's best to use 2 chopping boards, one for the meats and fish and another for the vegetables. But I mean, it's a common thing where you see most people using the same chopping board. They just quickly wipe away the surface. But what is that the bacteria, what is causing the food poisoning, is still inherent on the chopping board. So on the safer side, it's best to use 2 separate chopping boards, one for vegetables and another for the meat or the fish.
Very, very important point there. So
very-
2 chopping
very,
boards,
very-
one for your meat
and one for the
your
vegetables.
so
Yes.
that you don't have
Cross-contamination, yes.
So food poisoning can actually happen at that level.
Yes, in fact, that is one of them. That's one of the most common points at which food poisoning happens. Because what is that the meat most of us buy are not wholesome. They have, to an extent, a degree of contamination. And what is that? No matter the meat you are using, there's an amount of contamination in it, and
raw,
then because it's raw, so the process in which it's cooking tends to kill the bacteria. But then, as it is raw and you are cutting it, and you are still using that same chopping board for your vegetables, there's that likelihood of having a cross-contamination, and then your vegetables become poisoned.
All right. Those of you who sell chopping boards, please, when somebody comes to buy 1 chopping board, tell them they should buy 2 and explain to them why they should buy 2, so they don't just think that you just want extra profit. Tell them, give them this reason that, listen, you don't want cross-contamination. 1 chopping board for the meat, 1 for your vegetables. Yeah, and great advice from a licensed, registered dietitian.